Hello and welcome to the Procrastinaria. My name is Jan and today we're playing EU4 as Pomerania. We have returned. Now, I was going to make this a peaceful episode. I have a little history brief ready for you guys. And we're actually going to talk about Lithuania. I have prepared everything up to the Lithuania-Polish Union. I don't have anything after that, which happened in 1395, I think. So I have basically from the beginnings of Lithuania up to 1395 or so. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to try to get through all of it. I'm not going to rush it. If we don't manage to get through all of it, then we don't. Then we'll take another episode later, which we'll have to with the Union. I should also point out I had a lovely derp when I was preparing the history brief, because I was reading up on the Polish-Lithuanian Union and I was thinking, has that happened yet in our game? And then I continued reading, slightly thinking about it in the back of my head before realizing about, I don't know, 15 minutes in that, oh, wait, no it didn't. Why didn't it? Because we are in a personal union with Lithuania. It just happens. I'm a derp. We can convert provinces. We could convert Ruthenia, but they're building an armory at the moment. National decisions, advancement of religion, missionary strength. Have a theologian. Actually, yes, we will take the missionary strength at the moment. It sounds rather good. We could convert more of the Orthodox provinces. And Hungary has cancelled military rights they were given by us. We are going to vassalize Poland over here. Aren't able to do it immediately, but we should be able to rather soon. We have still a royal marriage with Brandenburg and Austria. Austria still hates us, so does Brandenburg. Brandenburg is afraid of us, of course they are. We have an alliance with Sweden, which the Swedes kinda like us, and we have Lithuania on our side. Oh, and France, I completely forgot about France, and Hesse for that matter. We are just gonna stop improving relations in Hungary. We gain a stability because a saint was proclaimed. Who are you at war with that you want military access? Saxony and Bohemia. Yes, you are allowed military access. Two derived home from Bohemia. We are going to improve our relations with Poland and try to vassalize them. Bohemia wants military access. Sure, why not? France still has that disputed secession. They have a regency council at the moment, so. We can also get war cabinet again. But I think we're gonna go for we're gonna go for canal and shipyard. Actually, yeah. We're gonna go for canal and shipyard. Just gonna catch up on technologies while we can. But because we're sitting around waiting for stuff to happen now, we are going to talk about the Grand Duchy of Lithuania. Because why not? They are a Grand Duchy, even though in the game they are a kingdom, which is strange because Muscovy is... Oh no, it's a kingdom. I thought it was a Grand Duchy. Maybe some of the smaller ones are Grand Duchies, I don't quite remember. Doesn't these... Wait... Oh no, these fall under Novgorod, right, I forgot. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yes, the Grand Duchy of Lithuania. The Grand Duchy of Lithuania. Actually, the full name in the statues of the Grand Duchy of Lithuania that were published in... I don't remember. In some time. They were published at some point in the history. The full name is actually the Grand Duchy of Lithuania, Rus, and Somogotia, which Somogotia is somewhere. I can't even remember. The Semigalia. I think that's it, but yeah. Local tax increase, one base tax in Pomerania. Fantastic. The first reference to Lithuania is in 1009 in the Kildenburg Chronicle. It basically mentions the state of Lithuania. It doesn't really say what it is or how big it is, but it kind of mentions it. Which is still rather fantastic if you ask me. Then the first proper state of Lithuania begins in the 12th century with the consolidation of some Lithuanian lands in Aukštaitija. And Aukštaitija is in modern day Lithuania. It's kind of the highlands of Lithuania. Also, Sadonierz is now a core, and it's a nice area. It's kind of the highlands. It was well protected, so and it was consolidated because of raids from various nations around it, or I should say tribes around it, because that was the pagan area in the pagan period. In 1248, there was a civil war between Mindaugas against two of his nephews. I think their names were Tautvilas and Idiokas. I'm not sure on those names. Don't take them for granted, because I could be remembering them a little bit wrong. Because some of these names are slightly difficult for me to remember. I'm being a derp when it comes to names lately. Anyways, it was a civil war, and in 1251, Mindaugas was baptized and then crowned on the 6th of July in 1253, I think? Yeah, 1253. And became kind of the first Grand Duke of Lithuania. Lithuania actually became the first king of Lithuania, because Lithuania was then, by a golden bull, established as a kingdom. He was then assassinated along with his two sons in 1263, which is a bit sad. There was a period between 1263 and 1269 after the death of Mindaugas, where there were kind of three Grand Dukes of Lithuania. Trenoita, Vašvilkas, and Svarn. In 1269, peace kind of happened, and the Grand Duke Traidenis kind of came to power, who then died in 1282. He was actually good for Lithuania. He expanded the lands of Lithuania, fought the knights and the Livonian order, and basically just strengthened Lithuania greatly. We can press an issue. The lack of good maps or tools to create accurate maps would occasionally lead to overlapping claims of authority in both the regions. These disputes are usually over very marginal areas, but could serve as a point of friction between when monarchs decided to press the issue. We can press the issue. We can come on Sirards, they hate us a bit more, which they already do anyways, or we can settle the issue into stability. We're gonna press the issue. I mean, why not? Is Bohemia one of our rivals? It isn't at the moment. Poland doesn't need to be a rival anymore. And we'll put in Bohemia, if I could spell Bohemia, as a rival, because they technically are. But yeah, the Grand Duke Traidenis was good for Lithuania. He strengthened Lithuania's power quite a bit. In 1295, the first member of the Geminid family comes to power. Well, his predecessor was in power in a part of Lithuania, but kind of wasn't a Grand Duke. He was the first Grand Duke. His name was Vytenis. He was good for Lithuania as well, in a way. He held multiple wars against the Holy Orders and then Poland and Ruthenia, in which he mostly was successful. He was quite a successful military leader. He managed to ally Lithuania with Riga, which strengthened trade immensely and kind of had a set of point for further expansion into that area and, of course, other areas. And it's a weird state, but around 1307, he military annexed Polotsk, which is over here. I think both, actually just that one? Yeah, that one belongs to Polotsk, and this one. These two belong to Polotsk in the game. Lithuania is having quite some issues over there. We're going to send in our army to assist. He also established defenses against the knights, which kind of a long defensive area, which was really good. It helped save Lithuania from invasion from the Teutons and the Livonians, of course, who were a dependency of the Teutons at that point. After his death, the Gediminas dynasty continued with their holding power. They were basically in power until the Jagiellon dynasty came into power, which was a lot later. And after that, the personal union with Poland happened. So we can invest in a new technology, canal and shipyard. We are going to invest in canal and shipyard. Land transportation of a lot of cargo is simply too expensive. Moving it by ship is more efficient. Building canals will allow ships to assist with our inland trade, while shipyards will provide enough ships to do so. Mexico in range 100 allows canal and shipyard. We're also going to get modern theocracy in quite soon, actually, if we don't take death and loans. And for modern theocracy, maybe open another idea group, which I'm not against. But anywho, the Gedimina dynasty were very, very powerful. They, in 1320, conquered, by 1320, conquered most of the Western Rus and vassalized or annexed that area. In 1321, they captured the city of Kiev, which kind of made Kiev slightly surrender, but not really. Another big part of their rule was that they established Vilnius as their capital, which Vilnius is the capital in the beginning and still is here in Vilna. Yeah, it is. What? They established Vilna as their capital, or Vilnius, however you want to pronounce it. And in 1362, they actually defeated the Golden Horde before the Muscovites did, about 20 years before the Muscovites did, in 1362, in what is known as the Battle of the Blue Waters. If you want to learn more about these battles, I will put a link in the description below, because it's an interesting kind of thing. I'll put a link to a Wikipedia article on it, because I take sources from Wikipedia and a few history books that I have and a few other places. But the Battle of Blue Waters is extremely well explained on Wikipedia, so I'll put the link in the description below. But what happened after the battle is that after they defeated the Golden Horde, that basically meant that they captured the rest of the Principality of Kiev, which was good for them and strengthened them immediately, which then established them in kind of the size that we see them here. In the height of their empire, they stretched from the Black Sea up to the Baltic, which is kind of what they do now. They were really powerful empire to begin with, because they had a very opportune time when they rose to power. But we can build a great palace and something else happened. End of religious turmoil in Bohemia. Build a great palace. Monarchs were often struggling with ways to subdue their nobility. The rise of firearms reduced the nobles' role as warriors, but left them with, in the eyes of the monarchs, too much idle time. Some monarchs created great new palaces with elaborate court rituals to dazzle the nobles and keep them occupied. Versailles is the greatest expression of this movement. I thought we already did this once. We can build the palace, lose 67.69 ducats, gain 10 prestige, 20 legitimacy, or lose 10 prestige by not building it. We're going to build it. Even though it will put us in a debt, I do not care at the moment. We have a free advisor slot, but we only have level 2 and 3 advisors, which we can't afford to support. So we are instead going to build training camps, which is fantastic. We still have that national decision to embrace the counter-reformation, but I mean, it would give us 2 additional missionaries and increase our missionary strength, so we could convert our provinces faster, which I guess. But I'm not sure if I can convert into Protestant then. We could convert into Protestantism now. I don't know. I don't know. Should we or shouldn't we? Put it in the comments below. Should we convert already, or should we wait until more of our provinces are Protestant? Because we currently don't have that many Protestant provinces. Austria annexed Mainz. We can... Poland would actually marry us, and they would be our vassal. They just hate us still. Savoy accepted electorate from Austria. Savoy is an elector. Interesting. Who are the electors these days? Savoy, Tuscany, Trier, Saxony, Palatinate, Lorraine, and Brandenburg, and no one would vote for us. The Dacia feud has ended in Sweden. We talked about the Dacia feud in the last episode. But as I was saying about Lithuania, they rose at an opportune time when Europe was kind of in its own turmoil state. Brandenburg is really small. Would they be our vassal? No. Because they're an elector. And I keep forgetting to invest in cardinals. We shall do that now. We shall actually just invest everything. Austria is going to be papal controller for a long time, it seems. But yeah, Lithuania rose at an opportune time because while the Golden Horde was threatening Europe, they were they rose in a position and were able to take opportunity of the Golden Horde lose power over the Rus lands and the lands they conquered. Because the Golden Horde kind of stopped at Belarus and never went further into Europe, even though they possibly could have. They had the power, but they didn't. So they kind of stopped at Belarus. But yeah, it gave opportune power to the Lithuanians to then push into Rus and take control over those lands, which was fantastic for Lithuania, not so fantastic for the Golden Horde, but on the other hand, the Golden Horde did pillage and conquer vast swaths of land without really caring about anything. They have a Regency Council. Any other disputed succession? Brandenburg has a disputed succession. What happens in Brandenburg? Let's see. Gets inherited by Austria? No! No! I refuse to let such things happen. How is Moldavia doing? They're already 200. They are our vassal. Why are we improving relations still? Come back. But we are quickly going to take this technology, modern theocracy, which is the development of the social structure is not exclusive to the aristocracy. The clergy too have to improve their internal governance. This will assist in the development of modern thought in our country, allows another group of ideas, and allows theocracy. We're going to take another group of ideas, and we're going to take military ideas at this point, and we're going to take probably defensive ideas. I don't like the offensive ideas that much. Aristocratic ideas are good, but not that good. I mean, they do give us another diplomat, though, and military tech cost goes down. But I think we'll go with defensive ideas. We've got ideas in diplomatic and admin we're taking, and we're also going to take these ideas. We're also immediately... Wait, are we? Yeah, we're immediately going to take yearly army tradition +1. Yeah, and we should be able to get Reichskreis rather soon afterwards. I do like more diplomatic reputation. Unpause and carry on. I was talking about something. Oh yeah, I need to fix everything with Brandenburg. We don't want them to get inherited by Austria. We're going to, if we claim their throne, we're going to go into a war with Austria over them. We are going to claim their throne, which now it's going to be, yeah, they get inherited by us. Which is fantastic. Their king is still quite young, though. Hopefully he dies soon. Hopefully. We royal marriage with them as well. Ta-da! Royal marriage. We are not going to get into positive relations just yet. Can we start annexing you? No. Can we start integrating you? 1550. We need to improve relations with you again. You've won that. Our general is dead as well. A lot of things. He's good movement, not really good at anything else though. No one we can hire still. Temples 1.11. Nothing too good in regards of building buildings, so we're going to continue with increasing our trade power in various nodes. I was looking at the trade power. Why are you moving? 1.48 up to there. Transferring a lot of power into Lübeck. But we have some power, but not too much. Should really work on that. But we actually have a bunch of things we can accept. The Declaration of Indulgence, Tolerance of Heretics +3, Stability Cost +5, suspend all penal laws for members of other religions than the established church, and grant them the freedom of public worship and the rights of advancements to military and civil offices. Yes! Conventicle Act, discourage nonconformists by forbidding any form of religious assembly of more than 5 people other than those approved by the established church. What? They're going to take it as well. Helps our... it will help us convert things faster. Achieve that religious unity. It will never achieve religious unity. And we don't hate we have good tolerance of heretics at the moment, with 0, so they're less likely to revolt. But that is it for this episode. It kind of went by quickly, at least it did for me. I'm not sure about you guys, but episodes go by for me rather quickly. We're going to just proclaim a guarantee on Poland to make sure that they continue in our power. But Brandenburg gets inherited by us, which is fantastic. We need to improve relations with them, so we're going to unpause rather just for a few minutes, just so I can get a guy in. Hopefully their king dies rather soon. There we go. And improve relations with them. But that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you enjoyed the history brief. In the next episode, because it's going to be another peaceful episode, because aggressive expansion needs to go down, I will talk about the personal union with in the Polo-Lithuanian personal union, most likely, or we're going to cover Poland. I'm not entirely sure. One of those two things, because we're not going to be able to become. We are actually admin tech 10, so technically we could already become Prussia, but we're not going to talk about Prussia until we become Prussia, because I don't think it's well, it is fun to talk. But yes, next episode, either going to cover Poland up until the Polo-Lithuanian Union, or just cover the Polo-Lithuanian Union, because it affects both countries. We shall see. But until next time, that is it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, bye bye.